Is that your garden, Lana?
Yeah, it's shared garden at my flat, but
It's very big.
no one else really uses it, which is good. Yeah, no one else comes out here, but I can hear music coming from over there. It's all right though. So we're just gonna start standing like a mountain. So our feet hip distance apart. Try and get those ankles, knees, hips in line. Standing tall. Our weight pushing into the ground. Might need to or want to just lean forwards and back, side to side. Notice where the weight is going into the feet, and then settle at a point where it feels balanced between the heel, the ball of the foot, and the outside edge of the foot. Just tilt that pelvis forwards and back a few times. When it's in the middle, neutral position, wiggle a bit, get it in the neutral position, those legs strong, and settle there. Imagine that spine from the lower spine all the way up to your neck, and then your head is being lifted up tall to the sky. You're going to zip off our belly a little bit, so just tuck it in a little bit, pull it up, and we're going to roll the shoulders back and down. Okay, we're going to start with breathing, so we can just bring our hands together. Just take 10 breaths, slow breaths, in and out in your own time. If you want to, if you're comfortable to, you can close your eyes. And then still standing tall, our head lifting to the sky, our shoulders back and down. Just straighten our arms, our fingers together, down by our sides. Pushing down, as if you're trying to push into the ground. And just stay here for a few breaths. And then we're going to loosen our spine in the same way as last week with the palm tree. So we're going to twist, leave the toes on the ground, lift the heel, and twist the hips from side to side. And then we're going to add in the arms, the leaves, big leaves of that palm tree. Just swaying in the wind. And we're going to combine this with our breath. So we're going to breathe in one way and then out the other way. In and out. Just in time with your own slow breath for 10 breaths. Remember to lift that heel so your leg can turn comfortably. We're going to glue our feet back to the ground. You can move them a little bit, lift them a little bit if you want to. We're going to swing our arms from side to side. Mobilize the shoulders, the upper back. You can go slow, you can speed up if you want to, go faster. And then we're just going to move our neck and our head a bit. So we're just going to turn, breathe in, back to the center. Breathe out, turn to the side. Breathe in and out. And we're just going to tilt our head. If you want to, you can just rest your hands gently. Stretching our neck back to the centre, and we'll go the other way. And then just rolling the shoulders up, back and down. I'm going to exaggerate that movement a little bit, so bring them right up to our ears as we breathe in, and then as we breathe out, sliding the shoulder blades down the back. One more time. So our shoulders are still back and down, we're standing tall. We're going to bring our elbows into our sides and our palms facing up, and we're going to take our hands out to the side, keep our upper arms and elbows tucked into the side so we can breathe in. And as we breathe out, pushing those hands out to the side, keeping the shoulder blades rolled down the back as far as you can go. Yours might be able to go really far back, or they might be further forward, that's fine. Okay, the looser your shoulders are, the further they're going to go back. We're going to breathe in. We breathe out. Hands going slowly backwards. Shoulders down the back. Breathe in back to the center. Okay, let's do 5 more breaths in our own time. Slow, controlled movement. Okay, so still going to stand tall. If you need to wriggle a bit, you can. Then we're going to be standing tall. Our feet hip distance apart. Our head raising high into the sky. And we're going to just tilt our body. Imagine it's hinging from the waist here to one side. So as you breathe in, get ready to prepare. And then as you breathe out, slide one hand just down that leg, the outside of that leg, as far as you can go. And as you breathe in, come back to the top. Do it 3 more times on that same side. So breathing out, slide in the hand down the outside leg as far as it can go. Making sure both feet are grounded on the floor, both heels are down. We'll go the other way, 4 times. We're going to raise our arms up to the sky, our shoulders are back and down. Bring our hands together. If you can leave it like that if it's comfortable. Bring them together. We're going to lean to the side in the same way. So as we breathe out, lean to the side. Breathe back in to come up. So we're trying to keep our legs, our hips in the same position, and the upper body and arms are tilted. Let's go 3 times this way. Breathing into the top. And we're going to go the other way, so we can breathe in, prepare. Breathe out. Three more times. Then we're going to turn to the side, so one foot's facing forwards, so toes pointing directly forwards. The other foot, it's not the wide stance, okay, it's closer together, feet but apart. This back foot is turning roughly 45-degree angle, and we're going to turn our hips so they're facing forwards with that front foot, the front of the mat. You need to move your feet a little bit, wiggle a bit, that's fine. Try and get those hips. We're trying to get our hips so they're balanced. There's not one going down, one up. And also our hips are facing forward this way like headlights. And we're going to breathe in to prepare. And then as we breathe out, we're going to bend forward from our hips. We're keeping our legs straight. So breathing in. Breathing out and forward. And we're just keeping our spine like a tabletop if we can. So our head's pulling forward. Make sure our shoulders are away from our ears. Our shoulder blades still pushing down our back. And now as you breathe in, imagine your head is extending forward. And as you breathe out, see if you can drop your head and your back at all. You might be able to. And as you breathe in again, imagine that head pulling forwards. And as you breathe out, can you drop further? Okay, and keep this going for 3 more breaths. We're aiming for our head to touch our knee, which it may or may not do today. You can see how it goes. Breathe in to lift up. We're just going to turn and do the other side. Front foot facing forwards. Back foot's at a 45-degree angle roughly. Going to turn those hips. Try and get them even. So I think with mine, yeah, the back leg hip wants to go down. So pay attention. Try and get them balanced and facing forwards like headlights. We're going to breathe in. And as we breathe out, come down to our back in tabletop position with our head pulling forwards. Take a few breaths here. And as you breathe in now, imagine your head being pulled forward. And as you breathe out, see if you can drop your head down towards the knee anymore. Keeping those legs straight, lifting up the kneecaps. Making sure our shoulders are pulling towards our waist, away from our head areas. Breathe in to come up. Okay, turn our feet back. And then we're just going to change to a wide leg stance. So move the feet a little bit wider, roughly under the wrist when you put your arms out like that. It's a good distance for most people, but your body might be slightly different. We're going to turn the front foot facing the front, same way as before. The back foot, we're going to put to about 45-degree angle. We're going to we're going to turn our hips towards the front of the mat with this foot, okay? Just move, the floor's a bit uneven here, the ground, so get a good position. Okay, so our hip headlights facing forward with that front foot. Our hips balanced. We're going to lift our arms up to the sky. Okay, we're going to do a warrior position. Lift our arms up, hands together, and we're going to keep that back leg straight. Make sure the heel's pushing down. Focus on the heel pushing down to try and straighten all the way up to your bum. We're going to bend this front knee. Okay, so you're aiming for this front knee to eventually be at a right angle. You might need to move your foot a bit because the knee should be above the ankle. So I'm going to just move mine a bit forward because I want to go a bit lower. Okay, so hips facing the front, arms high, hands together if it's comfortable, shoulders back and down, bend the front knee. Facing forward, so just be here for 5 breaths in our own time. Breathe in to come up. Our feet facing back to the front. We're going to turn the other way. So the other foot facing forward. Back foot, 45-degree angle. The heel, just imagine if the heel came back, it would touch the arch of the foot. But if you're finding it hard to balance, you can move your feet wider apart, makes it a bit easier. So we're going to tilt, turn our hips to face the front leg. You might need to shuffle your foot a bit to get a good position where you can get your hips facing forwards as much as possible. Back heel pushing down into the mat so you can get this, keep this leg straight and lifting up. Hips balanced and facing forward. Then we're going to bend the front knee. Raise our arms up if it's comfortable, hands together. See if we can get that front knee like a right angle. The knee above the ankle. Imagine your head, the spine still tall, your head lifting to the sky. And we're trying to drop the hips from the middle, from here. Five breaths in your own time. Breathe in to come up. And we're going to have our feet at the same wide stance. The outer edge of our feet in a straight line, parallel with the edge of the mat. And we're going to tilt forward, so you can start by having your hands on your hips. We're going to breathe in and we're going to hinge from the hips. As we breathe out, tilting forward. Okay, so as we breathe in, just like before, imagine the top of your head is Being pulled gently, your spine extended, and then as you breathe out, see if you can lower further down. And you can put your hands on the mat if they reach. So what you're aiming for here, you're going to be here, breathing in your own time. What we're aiming for is we're keeping the legs straight. You might need to move them further apart, close together. We're aiming for our hands to come back. So the palms are in line with the feet and they're flat like that. If you can get them flat there, then you can bend the elbows. So our elbows are pointing back. If you can't reach, if you've got something, two things or one long thing, you can put it here. So that when you're down, it's helping you to reach the floor, it's raising the floor up to you. Maybe like a folded blanket or a book or a cushion. If you can't touch the floor, just keep slowly breathing, letting your head drop further and further down. We're going to be here for 5 breaths in our own time. Keep relaxing that neck and head. Breathe out, lift those kneecaps, keep those legs strong and straight. Make sure the shoulders aren't coming up by the ears, they're backing down. And then slowly come up. We're going to keep our legs in the same position. You can come out if you want and then go back into it. And this time we're going to keep holding onto our hips, gripping our hips. So we breathe in, and then as we breathe out, hinge forward as far as you can. If you only get to here, that's fine. It doesn't, it's okay because all of our bodies are different. Let's be here for 5 slow breaths in and out. Just let your head relax to the ground. Make sure you can move it, your neck's soft. Your shoulders are back down your back and away from your ears. Your kneecaps are pulling up so your legs are strong and straight. Each time you breathe out, see if you can release a little more. Breathe in to slowly come up. We're going to bring our feet together. Okay, have a shake if you need to. We are going to do a couple of balances now. So find a bit of flat ground. We're going to start with the tree pose, which we might have done before. So it starts with that same standing tall position, standing like a mountain. Decide which foot is going to be the grounding foot. It's going to stay on the ground. I'm going to go with this leg. The other foot, lift the heel and turn to the knees pointing out to the side, to the front of the mat. Rest your heel just above your ankle. Okay, so if you squeeze, well, I find if I squeeze my hip, then it's easier to balance. The other thing that helps with balancing is just to find the point in the distance that you can fix your gaze on, your soft gaze on, and keep looking at that one point. Okay, that's the first position. The second position is to put the foot on the calf. And if you're in this position, your foot and your calf, you're trying to push them together. And the next position is to put the foot pushing in to your inner thigh. Okay, and similarly, then your foot, you're thinking about your foot and your inner thigh pushing together. Just make sure the foot isn't on the knee. So if you can almost get it up, part of your foot's on the knee, then go back down to that calf. just find which of the three positions works best for you. Okay, then we're going to choose our hand position. So demonstrate like this. So the legs, actually, what I should say is, what we're aiming for in all three of those positions is that our knee is pointing out to the side. And if I don't pay attention to my knee, it starts to come back in towards the front like that. So I need to constantly be thinking about that knee. Is it pointing out to the side? And then you can keep your hands on your hips. You can come to that heart-centered prayer position. You can raise them above. You can open it. And if you can balance really well like that, you can also close your eyes, which makes it more difficult. I love balancing personally. It feels really good. It's strong, and it helps to, for me, it's good for clearing the mind because I'm focusing on one thing. But obviously, when I started yoga, then I was a lot more wobbly than I am now. I can still improve. So if you keep wobbling, don't worry, just come out and go back into it. So choose your position. Let's see if we can do 10 breaths. If your arms are above your head, remember those shoulders back and down. Spine lifting tall. You might want to shake that leg a little. And then we're going to go to the other side. So you probably know what position you want to do, but sometimes one side can get further into a posture than the other side. So see how it goes, or maybe you can balance better on one side than the other. So of the ankle, pushing into the inner thigh, or pushing into the inner thigh or into the calf like me. Foot's not touching the knee. 10 breaths in your own time. Shoulders back and down. That knee is pointing straight that way. So you need to focus on pulling it back. Pulling in that belly a little bit can also help with balance. Have a shake if you want to. And then we're just gonna lift. We're gonna do a little, another balance. So you don't have to face sideways. I'm just facing like this because my mat's this way. And so you can see, choose which leg's going to be the strong standing leg. And then the leg that we're going to lift, you gently lift the heel, and then it's going to go straight out the back. So just like with the other postures, we're thinking here about our hips. This, for me, this hip with the leg raise, it wants to go up, but I want it, what you want to try and do, I keep my toe on the ground to show you. Okay, you can keep your toe on the ground too, but it's hard for you to balance. So our hips facing forwards, they're balanced, so not higher. The hips are in line, one's not higher than the other, and they're facing forwards. Pull in the arms. Okay, shoulders back and down. We're trying to stand tall, and we raise that leg. 5 breaths in your own time. the standing leg. Lift up that kneecap. Okay, then we're going to swap, do the other leg. First, ground that leg. Just notice the hips, how they feel. Try and get them in line before we take that other foot back. Straight leg. Standing leg strong, kneecap lifting up. Flex the back foot. And the upper body does tilt, but in your mind, think about trying to raise your spine and your head tall. Okay, so then we're going to just extend this a bit. Let's see. See if I can balance on the uneven ground. Let me see. So, it's going to start in a similar way. Okay, choose the standing leg. Ground with that foot, weight distributed evenly between the heel, the ball of the foot, the outer edge of the foot. The leg that is going to lift, you can start by taking it back along the mat. Our toes can still be on the mat. Our hips face forward, just like before, and we're trying to get our hips balanced. This time, when we raise the leg, we're going to try and keep our head and our foot in a straight line, okay? As we raise the leg, we're going to tilt our body forwards, and you might be able to get it. So, well, if you saw yourself, it'd be like a T. One leg down, your body, and your back leg, the top of the T. Okay, let's see. So breathe in to prepare. And as you breathe out, tilt forwards, lift that back leg, flex the foot. You can have a bend in that bottom leg while you're getting into position. And similarly, we want our hips both facing down. We want our shoulders both facing down. Raise the leg, flex the foot. Imagine our heads being pulled gently one way and our back foot, the heels being pulled back the other way. That standing leg, straighten it, pull up the kneecap, pull in the abs. 5 breaths in our own time. And then we'll try on the other side. Okay, we'll just try on the other side. Ground that foot. Weight evenly distributed. Our hips are even, we're standing tall. The one that's going to lift, toes can go back along the mat. And then imagine from the tip of our heads to our heel, we're trying to keep it like a straight line as we lean forward, lift that foot, flex the back foot, your heel's being pulled away, your head's being pulled away gently in the opposite direction. Our hips are facing down, our shoulders too. We're pulling our abs. We straighten the standing leg, pull up the kneecap. 5 breaths. And then come out. Come out when you're ready. And we're just going to come down now to the ground. Let me go that way actually. We're going to do the cat-cow position. So we're in tabletop, and so we're trying to get our back quite flat. And then as we breathe in, we're going to that cow position, pull the belly button down to the ground, shoulders back and down, head up, pelvis tilting back. And as we breathe out, the belly button's going up to the ceiling, pelvis tilts forward, head drops down, looks towards the knees. As we breathe in, our belly button drops. Our shoulders are trying to poke up. Imagine like an old cow. It's a bit bony. Our head can lift if it's comfortable, and our pelvis tilts. And as we breathe out, belly button in up to the sky. Oh, did I go the right way? I may have got confused. Breathing in is the cow, and breathing out is the cat. Okay, 5 times with your own breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to sit back. But I just want you to touch your big toes together if you can. Bring your knees wide. And we're going to extend our arms and just push back. We're aiming for our bum to be on our heels, but it might not be. So we're focusing on that. Pushing down and pushing our arms away. Still keeping our head extended. So our shoulders are going back and down away from our ears. If you're close to the ground, you can put your head on the ground, or if you've got like a folded blanket, if you're not close, or something else, you could just rest your head on it. Take a few breaths. Okay, come back to sitting. And we're just going to do the happy baby pose like last week and then come down to relax. So for happy baby, we're going to come down onto our back, hugging our knees to our chest. You might want to just roll there a little bit first. Release the back or massage the back. Okay, and then we're going to put our feet up to the sky, our knees bent. And we're going to grab our legs. They can roll around like a happy baby in whatever way feels comfortable or good for you. You can be still if you want to. See if you can reach your feet either on the inside or on the outside. And if you can't reach the feet, just keep your hands on your legs wherever they'll reach. And we're trying to pull our legs down so we can apply pressure to those feet, so the knees are going closer to the ground on the outside of the armpit. Just have a roll around, relax, let out some sighs if it feels good. And then just bring your feet down onto the mat I'm going to shuffle back. So your feet hip distance apart, your knees are facing the sky, they're also hip distance apart. And we're just going to bring one knee into our chest, hug it in, stretch that bottom leg out, flex the foot. Breathe in. As you breathe out, see if you can pull that lower leg, that knee closer towards you. And we'll do the other side. And then we just bring our feet together, our knees together, and we're going to put our arms out to the side and just let our knees drop. We try and keep our knees, our heels stacked on top of each other. Our shoulders stay on the ground. If your shoulders start to lift, you might need to just stop before you get your knees to the ground and hold there. Our head turns the opposite way. Then back, breathe in, breathe out, drop the legs to the side, turn the head. Breathe in, knees up to the sky, breathe out, back to the other side. Head turns the opposite direction. Breathe in, back to the sky, breathe out. And then we're just gonna lie in Shavasana. So we're lying on the ground. I can feel the tree root here, so I might move my arm to a different position, but we're lying on the ground. Okay, if you feel any lower back niggles, you might need to move around, or you might need to bring your feet up. Just rest your knees together, let your knees drop together, and relax like that. But otherwise, get yourself comfortable. The shoulders, we want to try and bring them down our spine, down our back, but whilst we're on the floor. Okay. You might hugging yourself like that and then releasing is also a good way. Our arms are out to the side, wherever's comfortable for you. Our feet, we'll let them drop out to the side, and we're just gonna relax here for 2 minutes, breathing in your own time. When you're ready, just wiggle your fingers, your toes a little bit. And you can turn, put your feet on the ground, knees up high, and then you can just roll onto one side. And relax there for a moment. And then slowly come up to sitting when you're ready. Thank you for coming and practicing with me.